Hello, students.
Hello, classroom.
Welcome to Mr. Martyrin and Mr. Walter's first attempt at a flipped classroom. Mr. Walter, tell us, what's a flipped classroom?
Well, the goal here is that we are going to teach you the content at home, that you can learn this at your own pace, and then hopefully tomorrow you will come in prepared, knowing the content, and we can just jump right into some activities.
Alrighty, you guys should have out your Introduction to Imperialism and Nationalism Cornell note packet. We're going to be doing video 1 right now. And as Mr. Walter and I go through the content, you're going to want to copy down those notes into the appropriate boxes. You're going to want to review them in lieu of your quiz tomorrow that you're going to have in class.
And please feel free to pause the video at any time to make sure you get the notes down. And if you want to watch it multiple times, that's, well, okay.
You can do that too.
Yeah, if you want to. Okay, so here we go.
Imperialism.
This is the age of imperialism. This is going to be the beginning of our imperial unit, and this is getting us very close to the modern day.
Alrighty, so how does this all fit in, you're asking? Well, around December, we studied the age of exploration.
I doubt they were asking.
Okay. From 1480 to 1790, that's when Europeans began colonizing all over the world. As they brought those goods back from around the world, England began to industrialize, followed by Germany and other nations. However, European nations began to emerge in the feeling of nationalism, which is pride in your country, and they also began to take over the way of life of a country, which is called imperialism, which Mr. Walter is going to talk about. This will ultimately lead us into our next unit on the Great War, which is World War I, which happened in 1914.
All right, so here we go. The definition that you're really going to want to get down is this. This is the first one, nationalism. Exactly what that is. It's when you have this intense pride, loyalty, and patriotism to your country. And I would equate this to not so much your everyday stand up for the flag salute, Pledge of Allegiance, but this is more similar to how you might root for a team during a playoffs, where you just, really are embracing the country and everything about it.
Now, imperialism. Imperialism, very important definition. Imperialism is the domination by one country over the political, economic, and cultural life of another country or region. Now, it's important. The key word here is cultural life. Think back to your culture components. When one country is dominating someone else's culture, that includes politics, government, society, and religion. So basically, the Europeans are going to come in and completely dominate other areas of life of the imperial powers. Mr. Walter, what countries will be doing the imperialization?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked that, Mr. Margaron. There are going to be 7 major countries that you need to know about that will be doing the imperializing. Those countries are Portugal, Germany, Russia, Great Britain, Spain, France, and, even though not in Europe, the United States. And so these are the countries that will be actually going out and taking over other countries, and as Mr. Martyrin read during the definition, will be taking over them culturally, politically, and economically as well. So, Mr. Martyrin, what regions of the world will be getting imperialized?
Alrighty, class. Well, first region, we're going to talk about Africa. All right. The best way I can relate Africa is think about a Thanksgiving turkey, and you show up late to dinner. All that's going to be left over are the remnants, and kind of Europe, that's what they do. The Europeans come in and carve Africa out into separate states and territories. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about Africa. Next, we're going to take a look at India, the British East India Company, and how India is affected by imperialism. And lastly, we're going to talk about Asian imperialism, how Europeans try to dominate the Chinese culture. China, which has been pretty isolated for much of its existence, now comes into play.
So, students, this should be the end of video 1 for you guys. At this point, you should have been able to fill out everything in the first part of your handout. And if you didn't, you might want to go back and look at something in particular to make sure you get that information. Hopefully this was a success for you.
Alrighty. Great job, guys.